The morning watching that fucking Meghan Markle special, and it sobered me right up.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh,
something
Maureen.
killed your vibe.
Did you watch all episodes of this?
No. I will go hard in the paint.
Meghan's worst nightmare just hit the internet in full force. Conservative YouTuber Megyn Kelly, flanked by Maureen Callaghan, dropped a savage parody video that has everyone roaring with laughter. Rumor is Meghan is seething behind the scenes after this merciless mockery. That firestorm of jokes and jabs reportedly pushed the Duchess over the edge. It's gone viral across social feeds and talk shows.
Reminds me of your wedding cake, and he's like, I tasted your wedding cake, and I was like, that's a weird thing to say. Who says that? And the reason he said that, it soon became clear, was because he went to the tasting with her.
Insiders now say Meghan is threatening to sue Kelly. But here's the twist. The video wasn't built on gossip or hype. It simply held up a mirror to Meghan's reality. That unfiltered reflection was reportedly too brutal to swallow. What began as sharp satire has exploded into a cultural and legal showdown, exposing more about Meghan's true self than her polished PR machine would ever willingly show.
Like, I just threw this on. I don't know how I got to be wearing this entirely cashmere white outfit. Yeah.
In the kitchen.
There was a juxtaposition there, you're right.
And then Mindy says to Meghan, she starts asking her to break down.
The killer part, that parody didn't invent new lies. It simply amped up what we've all been thinking. A tone-deaf, narcissistic ex-royal still chasing crown cash while trashing the monarchy she claims to despise. And guess what? The internet wasn't on Meghan's side. It exploded with laughter and cheers for Megyn Kelly's savage skewering. Kelly and Callaghan gloriously nailed her as a self-obsessed, delusional influencer on a Save the World crusade, and it landed with brutal precision.
And she is the most insecure person I have seen in the public eye in a long time. That is why everything had to be perfectly curated. It was like, that's the biggest absurdity.
By spotlighting overpriced jam jars and pretzel-stretching yoga poses while glossing over her own privilege and double standards, the parody did more than amuse. It held up a stark mirror to a brand built on victimhood and half-truths. Meghan's decision to threaten legal action only underscored the sketch's accuracy. According to insiders in Montecito, her legal team is already weighing defamation claims, calling the parody harmful, defamatory, and intentionally cruel. But here's the kicker. Satire is protected speech.
Our mint, and then cut our flowers that are edible. But don't worry, she's a woman of the people. You can grow those just on your windowsill at home in New York, your edible flowers.
And don't forget your local beekeeper.
Yeah.
Your local beekeeper.
Oh, yeah, because she has a bee hive, which she goes to. That's how they open the whole series with her bees. And like, don't worry, if you don't have this, just go to your local bee.
Meghan's legal threat wasn't about setting the record straight. It was about seizing total control of her public image, the storyline, and who's permitted to critique her. In Tinseltown, that's a rookie move. Panic disguised as power. Social media erupted.
Just for kicks. I'm like, what? Local beekeeper. And everything that came up was the people who will kill bees in my
Oh my God.
Like, if you have a beehive and you want to get rid of it, here are like the 20 people who will kill it.
There you go. Absolutely.
Clearly we're living in different worlds.
Do you have a chicken coop?
No chickens. No, just the dead ones in the freezer.
Even Meghan's diehard defenders went mum, while others snorted at her legal threat. As one media pundit quipped, "You know you've struck a chord when the Duchess rings up her lawyers. Classic Streisand effect." Her bid to gag her critics backfired spectacularly, shoving that very controversy into the spotlight she tried to bury. Let's not forget.
Feed your chickens. Did you catch that?
Did not catch that.
She literally, Meghan, she has a chicken coop and she talks. So she brings out, I don't mean to get off Mindy, but she brings out to feed them a thick disc of ice. And inside,
the chickens?
Oh, yeah. And inside that disc are frozen organic vegetables, which she then puts down.
Meghan Markle spent 5 years styling herself as the fearless champion of media freedom, feminism, and open dialogue. Yet here she is, arming up with attorneys over a single joke. Where was her indignation when South Park lampooned her and Prince Harry as fame-obsessed complainers, or when UK tabloids unleashed far nastier attacks? The truth? Meghan champions freedom only when it suits her,
will be that much more golden.
Oh my gosh.
And nutritious. And then the camera pans to a miniature picnic table. It looks like something that would go in a child's dollhouse on the ground. And she says, "Don't laugh at me. That is my chicknick table where I put food for the chickens." Okay. In this economy.
Right. Well, same thing with her dog.
When Meghan speaks, the parody didn't just skewer her reputation, it impaled her ego. For someone who drapes herself in curated vulnerability and glossy self-importance, being publicly mocked is the ultimate humiliation. Instead of self-reflection, Meghan lashes out ironically from the same woman who once told Oprah she was so misunderstood.
Who's Harry's friend's wife from Polo.
Oh, this
Again,
one.
So relatable. So some woman from Argentina who's married to Harry's polo player friend shows up. Again, not really a Meghan Markle friend. And for her dog, Meghan makes some sort of biscuits, which of course have only the...
Meghan is now weaponizing legal threats to shape public perception. That's not leadership, it's image management. The biggest eye-opener? Hollywood's radio silence. Major celebs clammed up, brand sponsors wouldn't defend her, and publicists whispered the unthinkable truths behind closed doors.
She's making the bacon because, the dog's just going to love it if it has a little bacon in it. And, she eats bacon all the time, she wants you to know, in her house.
Of course she does. Sure. She looks like it.
Right?
Yeah.
With her size like 00. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
But here was the other thing. When you talk about the chicknick, I wrote this down just from the episodes I watched. She's got this little
Meghan's become a liability. Every attempt to control the narrative only strips away her polished Spotify deals, erases her Netflix opportunities, and lets her brand archetype quietly implode. She's teetering on the edge of irrelevance. The parody didn't trigger her downfall. It merely shone a spotlight on the decline everyone already sees, magnified by her hasty legal threat.
Rhyming or making these weird little plays on words that I think she thinks are very clever. Like the first episode, they're putting peas in a little pod, she and her makeup artist, and they're like, they look like little green pearls. Green pearls, green pearls, green pearls, girls. Okay.
That move screamed panic, not power. Instead of answering with grace or humor, Meghan slung legal threats, exactly what the parody predicted, showing she wasn't cowed. Megyn Kelly, meanwhile, pressed on with her show. She defended the sketch as satire and dared Meghan's team to sue. Legal experts warned any defamation suit would collapse, but the flurry of bad press has already done its damage.
Honey, honey. Oh. Honey, honey. Then they were cheersing their champagne with her little marmalade edition. Cheers, dear. Cheers, dear. Then there was, it's darling and delicious. Darling and delicious. Then there was the tea following the champagne.
Megyn Kelly's viewership is booming because she says aloud what everyone else whispers. What cuts so deep about With Love Meghan wasn't random mockery. It held up a mirror to a familiar pattern critics have long decried. Here's the punch. A woman who flips between victim and villain is demanding sympathy while lobbing accusations and hiding narcissism behind activism. Meghan's legal wrath only confirmed Kelly's satire was spot on. This episode might seem like a small glitch in Meghan's saga, but it exposes a far darker truth. The same Duchess who claimed to champion the voiceless is now rushing to silence anyone who dares speak against her. In today's court of public opinion, that's the greatest hypocrisy. Meghan Markle wanted status as a modern icon, but after a scathing parody and a petty legal threat, her legacy may be defined by something far less honorable. A tone-deaf ex-royal who can't stomach a punchline. One of the greatest ironies of Meghan Markle's meltdown over the With Love Meghan parody is how it shatters the very core of her brand. For years, Meghan cast herself as a champion of female empowerment, a fearless icon speaking truth to power. But when two bold women, Megyn Kelly and Maureen Callaghan, served up sharp satire, Meghan's answer wasn't courage, it was retaliation. Instead of lifting other women up, she's threatening legal action. Rather than rising above the jabs, she's scrambling for courtroom cover. That glaring contradiction is burning her credibility. The woman who once claimed trailblazer status now looks like a control freak who can't endure dissent or even a joke. The real bombshell of this saga isn't the parody, it's Meghan's explosive reaction. Her rush to sue Kelly lays bare her deepest fear, losing absolute control over her image. This isn't about defamation, it's about maintaining power. Meghan's PR empire rests on a single narrative, and she's willing to crush criticism to keep it alive. She presented herself as the wronged, misunderstood Duchess who gave up everything for freedom. But Megyn Kelly and Maureen Callaghan brutally exposed that facade. Their skit confirmed what many suspected all along. Meghan's public persona, a tightly scripted performance, rehearsed, polished, obsessively managed. The second her script was pierced, she didn't answer with facts or transparency, she unleashed legal threats. Even amid her outrage, the parody never attacked her personally or spun wild conspiracies. It skewered her tone, dissected her branding, and hilariously mimicked her empty buzzwords and staged vulnerability. She built her empire on that crafted image, and that's why the satire hit so hard. By suing, Meghan inadvertently spotlighted her fragility and made it obvious she can't abide any challenge to her narrative. The more she reacts, the stronger Kelly and Callaghan's point becomes. According to several First Amendment experts, any defamation lawsuit would face a humiliating defeat in court. Meghan's fear of losing control is now playing out for the world to see. U.S. law couldn't be clearer. Parody and satire aimed at public figures is flat-out protected speech. This suit would die on day one. A defamation attorney told the Daily Mail, Meghan's legal threats aren't about justice, they're pure intimidation. That's a fear tactic, especially from someone preaching freedom and fairness. In fact, Meghan's wrath over with love, Meghan has driven in the final nail of her own image's coffin. She's now the very figure she claimed to flee, a calculated celebrity obsessed with control, shielded by lawyers, PR flacks, and yes men. She hasn't absorbed a single critique. She's doubled down on defensiveness, and that's the parody's biggest reveal. It didn't just spotlight her contradictions, it laid bare her refusal to grow, adapt, or face reality. Instead of dishing out a witty comeback or a self-deprecating laugh, Meghan chose diva meltdown. The world watched, and the verdict is in. What started as playful satire has become a harsh mirror on Meghan Markle's struggle with public accountability. Her image feels hollow, and her story rings flat. With each legal threat and media meltdown, she drifts farther from the empowered advocate she touted and edges closer to a cautionary legend of fame mistaken for invincibility. Her attempt to silence critics only cements the warning. When you confuse celebrity for immunity, you risk becoming the very cautionary tale you feared.